Good afternoon, everyone. It is 3:05 on Friday, the 1st of August, and truth be told, this is the second intro that I am recording. I had finished recording the outro to the last vlog, and then I literally switched off the recording and started it again to do the intro for this vlog. But I hadn't really thought, hold on, let me fix this automatic zoom. I really do need to look into the settings of this. I feel like I should be able to switch that off. Anyway, I just realized I took the wrong turn. I should have taken an earlier turn. We are on our way to get our nails done, apparently, but we've completely overshot it, and now I'm gonna have to loop back around, and I'm already late for the appointment, so there's that. But anyway, I had started filming an intro to this vlog and I hadn't really thought of what I wanted to say, so what ended up happening is a whole lot of ramble, and I wasn't very happy with that. So we're gonna start again. So welcome to another vlog. It is, as I said, or did I say, it's 3:05 on the 1st of August. We finished work for the week and we are obviously just going and getting our nails done, and it's long overdue. They have grown out so much. I try to do them only once a month because I don't like to go when I have Bella, and also I just don't have the time to be perfectly honest, to sit there, because it can take up to 2 hours a time depending on how busy they are. So I like to go once a month, and anyway, so they've grown a lot. I still haven't fixed my broken nail, which, like, I don't even know who I am, honestly. Like, usually with anything like that, I'm straight away in there, get it fixed. Not this time. I've been walking around with this broken nail and it's not even like cut evenly either. It's disgusting. But today we are going to get our nails cut short because I've come to realize that as much as I love long nails and they are part of my personality, with what I get up to, it's just not sensible. And breaking this nail has taught me that. So we're going to be sensible. We're gonna go short today, and hopefully we'll like it enough to stick with it, because I've tried to go short before and I've always gone back to long. So that's what we're up to. I am just pulling up now, and as I said, I am running late. So because of that, rather than my usual ramble for an intro, I am actually going to have to, oh, someone's calling me. Just 1 second. Hello?
Oh, hi, is that Jessica?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm Julie. You have a booking with me at 3 o'clock?
Yeah, I'm just parking now. Sorry, Julie.
Okay.
I'll see you in a second. All right.
Yeah, all good. I thought you forget.
Okay. No, all
Yeah,
good.
thank
Bye.
Got my emergency poncho.
Yeah, it's not going to be an emergency. You're going to need to wear it straight up.
Hopefully not. Hopefully it's changed.
Just for you.
Yeah. Oh, I'm tired.
Yeah, so
I'm happy now. What colour did you get your nails?
I got nude on my fingers. And then I got like a purpley red on my toes.
Sounds lovely. That sounds lovely.
Nuh-uh.
You're a butthead.
You are a butthead.
You think with your asshole.
You are an asshole.
I get the feeling it's a good night. It's so bright. The city's shining from the street lights. So let's
11:45 on Saturday now, and I've just gotten home from catching up with Julianne, getting the flowers, and also a few bits and pieces because she's coming over for dinner tonight, and then we'll put our arrangements together. But I thought I would show you quickly what I've bought, some of which I've already kind of put away, so I'm gonna have to grab it back from the fridge because it was stuff that needed to be refrigerated. I bought them about 4 hours ago and haven't refrigerated, actually not 4, 3 hours ago, so not too bad. 2.5 hours ago, so not too bad, but I had to put them in the fridge obviously. So first things first, we went to the farmers market, which is on every Saturday at the showground in Canberra, and there is where we started kind of our flower buying journey. We got ourselves a coffee, which inevitably meant that we had shot ourselves in the foot because it made it so much more difficult to rummage through flowers with just one hand. But aside from the flowers, which I'll get to in a minute, I'll show you what I bought. I got myself my favorite milk. It is the Tilba milk. There is a small farmer in New South Wales who produces this milk. It is stocked in certain IGAs and all of that, which, by the way, if you don't know what an IGA is because you're not from Australia, it's Independent Grocers of Australia, and basically it's like your local neighborhood shops. But they're really great because they tend to stock a few like specialty items, and the one closest to me stocks this milk. However, the last time I went in to buy milk, they didn't have it, and so when I saw that they were still at the markets at the time that we arrived, I had to get some. So random, by the way, me showing you 2 liters of milk, but anyway. And then I also bought Ben and I some homemade crumpets and some homemade lemon butter. I need to slow down. Some homemade crumpets and some homemade lemon butter, which he's at, I don't know if I mentioned, he's at Sydney, he's in Sydney rather at the moment. He has gone up there with, it was going to be his best mate. The two of them had bought tickets to watch the Lions and Wallabies play tonight. However, a couple of other guys from their rugby team decided to kind of come along, although they're not sitting together. But anyway, they're all in Sydney just for the night. Ben will come home tomorrow. And so I thought these would be really yummy for either afternoon tea tomorrow. I don't know what time he's coming home. I suspect it'll be relatively early because they're not planning on actually doing anything in Sydney but watching the game. So I suspect they'll make their way to Canberra and be here sort of just after lunch tomorrow. I could be completely wrong though, you never know with them. But I thought this would be really nice for afternoon tea, and if Ben does come home later tomorrow, we can always have it for dessert, because who doesn't like crumpets at any time of day? Then I also went to Harris Farm and I just picked up a few bits and pieces. So I'm a huge snacker, and what that means is I like to have a variety of snacks available to me. And at the moment, my favorite thing is homemade bread, which I baked a loaf during the week, which is now in the freezer, and a fancy ham and cheese is what I call it. So I've got Serrano ham and Manchego cheese, and with a shit ton of butter. It is so good. I absolutely love it. And so that is some snack food that it'll last me longer than the weekend. I say as I'm working from home during the week, this will be a key snack. And I decided that I'm gonna make a chocolate stout cake for dessert for Julianne and I tonight, because I've got some stout left over from the Christmas pudding that I made last week, and so I thought it would be the perfect opportunity to do a chocolate stout cake. And for that I needed some double cream, and because I couldn't be bothered to go to Woolies as well as Harris Farm, I just picked it up from Harris Farm. So this one looks like a fancy one. It is made from Jersey milk, which I don't know if I'm going to be able to taste the difference. I hope I can, because this costs a lot more than normal cream from Woolies. But anyway, it it gives good vibes. I'm very much someone who picks things based on the label and the packaging, and this passes my test. And then I also got myself a chocolate croissant because I'm yet to have anything substantial yet today, which it's so funny because Ben, as he was like packing his bag today, he was like, there's chicken in the fridge, there's smoked salmon in the fridge, and I said to him, I'm like, you're only gone for one night, like it'll be okay. And then I quickly realized that he was making sure that I would have proper meals when he was gone, because I am such a snacker rather than sit down and have like a big meal type of person, particularly when I'm on my own and there's no one there to like keep an eye on me. So I left there without any of the stuff that he had told me to take, which he'll probably be mad at when we get back to his tomorrow. But I did set out with good intentions, but then I saw the chocolate croissant and I thought, you know what, that might make a delicious lunch with another cup of coffee, because who doesn't love croissant and a coffee? So that is that. Then I hopped over to kitchen. Well, actually no, I hopped over to, let me rewind. I started, so the Madura Park area, which is where I do most of my grocery shopping and all of that. It's actually fantastic because it had everything that I needed today there. So I started my journey there so we went to, oh my God, I'm hopping all over the place. So Julianne and I went to the Epic Farmers Market. We got what we could there, and then we decided that we needed some more foliage, so we decided to go to Fishwick markets. So we did that and got some foliage, which I'll show you in a minute, and also some more like additional bunches of flowers as well. And then from there I hopped over to Madura Park and I went to Pillow Talk and returned some drinks coasters that I had ordered online and picked up during the week. They just weren't suitable. They were really like, they were what is the stone, oh my God, what is the stone called? I wanted it for tiles in my house. Hold on, let's have a look, because it's going to drive me nuts. Pillow Talk. Travertine, that is the word. So I got some travertine coasters because I needed some for the side tables in the lounge room, and they were completely the wrong color travertine. I thought that they would be more like that beige kind of sandy color, which would have tied in perfectly because that whole room is like warm toned, and I like that because it's nice and cozy. These were more on the gray side, so they all were returned when I went to Madura Park today. And then from there I hopped over to Dan Murphy's, which is a liquor store essentially, for those who don't know. And anyway, I had intended on buying a bottle of wine for tonight, and I was going to go rather basic and get a Sauvignon Blanc from the Marlborough region in New Zealand, which is just my favorite region for that type of wine. And then I walked in and I saw the imported wines and I saw the France section, and then I remembered that I'd had a glass of wine at a French restaurant when I went with Bella back in December, and I thought I had written down the name of the brand. I hadn't, and none of the labels looked at all familiar. But I got to talking to one of the wine experts there, who just happened to be from France anyway, and she was telling me her favorite wine, and then she said, and once you've finished that bottle, I recommend you try this next one, come back and get it. She wasn't trying to upsell, but then I was like, you know what, while we're here and while I remember exactly what wines you told me to buy, I will just buy them now. So this will be tonight's wine. It's Salvard Sauvignon Blanc, which this is the one that is her pick. She said that they didn't actually originally stock it in that store, but on her recommendation, they started to. And then she recommended this one afterwards. So this is, oh, I really don't want to have to try to pronounce it. You know what? No, I'm not going to try and pronounce it. This is the label. I'm going to hide behind it. And I'll even write it down below. I'll write both of these down below. But she said that they are absolutely divine. And I said to her that we planned on having Thai food for dinner as well. But I needed the wine to be good enough to sip prior and then after. And she recommended these two. So we've got these. So they are now chilling in the fridge. And then I had recently been culling, I don't know if I put it on the vlogs, but I'd recently been going around my house, and prior to actually like purchasing all this random bits and pieces of furniture and deciding to completely overhaul my entire house, I had started doing a huge cull of just random things in my house. And part of that was my wine glasses, because I'd broken some over the years. They were mismatched. There wasn't enough for even if my family came around for dinner. And so I decided to get rid of them, start fresh. And then I realized when I had said to Julianne I would have wine here for her for dinner, I realized I had no wine glasses for us to drink out of. So after Dan Murphy's, I hopped over to Kitchen Warehouse, which honestly, it's become one of my favorite stores. Like, I visit their website, I would say, no joke, over the past few weeks, at least once a day. And it's become quite a habit. I haven't actually informed you, or maybe I did in my random ramblings yesterday, although I don't think I did. But anyway, I purchased a new KitchenAid mixer because we've got Bella's birthday coming up, and I promised her that I would actually make the cake this year. Over the past few years, I'd been delegating that out to different cake makers in Canberra, but she requested that I make it. I promised her that I would, and so I bought myself a new KitchenAid mixer, which I'm obsessed with. It's an off-white, it's matte, it's beautiful, it's so shiny and new, and that's why I've been doing things like baking my own bread. I also plan on making my own butter because I forgot to use the cream that I purchased to make the custard last week, and so I'm going to make my own butter as well, which sounds ridiculous, but I've been looking and it's actually really easy to do, so I'm going to do that. But that random bit of information that nobody asked for aside, I am obsessed with Kitchen Warehouse at the moment. And so I went in there and bought some wine glasses that I had seen online, but I knew that they wouldn't arrive in time for tonight. So I only bought the white wine glasses. So I still need to purchase the red wine ones, which I'll just do online because I just didn't have the mental energy to buy both today. And because we'd spent so much money on flowers and that, I thought, you know what, I better pace out my spending. But they are so beautiful. So this is the Salisbury & Co. signature range. They have the red wine glasses. They also have stemless ones, which I think would be quite nice actually, just for water glasses, so I might get them anyway. But they're really nice, they're durable. You can put them in the dishwasher, although I never do that just because I'm a bit of a Nazi when it comes to stacking the dishwasher, and they mess up the entire flow. So things like this tend to get hand washed, but they are just really nice and they're inexpensive as well. So if we go breaking them, it's not too big a deal, but they are just really lovely. And they also have champagne glasses in that range as well. I don't know if I'll get them because I'm quite attached to the champagne glasses that I have already. But just for those who are interested, they do have champagne glasses as well. So I'll unpack those and wash them in a little bit. But I really do need to put these in water. So I'll show you what we've purchased for our bunches of flowers tonight. Oh, actually, the one last thing. I also got gel color for Bella's cake. She wants a Lilo and Stitch cake, which again, I don't think I mentioned. And so we're doing like a pastel pink blue and cream cake. And then I also, which I'll show you later on, I also bought some stick-on stuff that you can actually eat for the cake. And I also bought some sprinkles from a store, I think in Queensland, and that came during the week as well. Okay, flower time. These need water. All right, so from the farmer's market, we purchased these two here, which, oh, can you see it? I don't know if the camera, oh shit. Hold on, I've got stuff everywhere. I probably should mention we've got a turkey wishbone drying currently. So I don't know if the camera picked up on it or if any eagle eyes saw it, but yeah, this is the place where I keep wishbones to dry. We did have 2 chicken ones, which last weekend Ben and Bella kind of did the breaky thing. And then this one came from last weekend's Christmas turkey. So now that's drying, ready for them as well. Anyway, these 2 flowers. I don't think I explained following our flower workshop, but when it comes to creating, and I'm going to sound like I know a lot more than I actually do. So take what I say as coming from a girl who has had 1 floral arrangement class. So as confident as I sound, I don't really know what I'm talking about. But when you do your vase arrangements, the general rule is you have foliage, you have a focal flower, you have linear flowers just to change up and break up the bouquet, and then you have filler flowers, which are the less interesting, I guess, bits of flowers that are in it, but they're not exactly what draws your eye to the bunch, but they just make it look pretty. And then you also will have like a secondary focal flower as well. So just those key bits and pieces that again draw your eye to the arrangement. So I'm going to actually, I don't want to put water in this one, but I brought it with me because it's got a wide mouth and I thought it would be better to fit more bunches of flowers in it for transportation. So I've got my big glass vase here, so I'm going to fill it with water and then I'll walk you through what flowers we got. Okay, I've put water in this. I think we'll keep the tall flowers in this vase, and then I actually bought another vase today when we were out and about, and I'll put the smaller flowers, I think, in that one. But from the farmer's market, we got these baby pink roses. These are called spray roses. We use them in the workshop and they will be our filler flower. Then for our linear, sorry, I just realized I was off the camera. For our linear flower, oh no, flower down. For our linear flower, we got these snapdragons, which are just a white. I really like them in white just because I don't like color that much, as we all know. These are so healthy and robust, and so we couldn't say no, but we got 2 of them because obviously the more flowers the better, but also there's 2 of us, so multiple bunches of flowers are going to be made tonight. So we'll move them to the side. So they are what, oh, also, sorry. We also purchased, and I am so happy that we found these because I've been obsessed with flowers for a long time, but I've really become obsessed with the art of arranging flowers over the past few months. And so my Pinterest is obviously full of different flower arrangements because I really do want to really get into that side of things because it just makes me really happy. And in a lot of the flowers, a lot of the arrangements that I've pinned, these poppies are in them and they are just so beautiful when they open up. So we got a assortment of, these are warmer colors, by the way. Can we please note that I am actually putting color into my bouquets. Like, I am growing as a person, really. But yeah, these have a beautiful variation of like whites, pinks and oranges, as you can see. And when they open up, they are just so pretty. Like, I can't wait. I can't put into words how happy this makes me. And so, like I said, they all came from the farmer's market. This here is the vase that I picked up, and honestly there are so many vases that I want to buy. So these are, there's a fruit and vegetable store at the Fishwick markets that sells flowers with the idea that you take them home and actually arrange them. They're not necessarily, although they do sell already pre-arranged flowers, a huge bit of their stock is for you to do yourself. I can't get this off. Anyway, so I bought this vase. Sorry, that's what I was saying. So they sell a lot of flowers that you arrange yourself, and then alongside that, they obviously stock a lot of vases and different shaped vases, and there are so many that I want to buy. But for the purposes of today, I thought I would get this one because it's so interesting, and I like that the mouth of the vase kind of curves in, so it's not so, so it'll help create that structure. It'll be less like floppy, which again, obsessed with. So I'm gonna put water in this one, and this will house, it'll hopefully house the rest of the flowers. We'll see. Now on to what we bought from Fishwick Markets. Okay, the first things that we bought are, try to open them up. So we bought these beautiful, and again, we're trying to learn, we're trying to broaden our horizons here. So we're working with flowers that more based on the color rather than, I guess, the aesthetic, which sounds really wrong to say. But anyway, we bought some of these tulips, which, to be honest, we have no idea what color they're really going to be. We're assuming they'll be kind of an orange, just based on the tips here. We don't know for sure. So it's a bit of a gamble, but from what we could see, they do sort of correspond to the orange poppies. So fingers crossed that we haven't just wasted a heap of money. These roses here, which are very similar to the ones that we actually worked with on the day of our workshop. These are the focal flower. So the first focal flower, they are so beautiful and colorful. And what I really like is that they're bright and colorful, but they're still autumnal / wintry because we're in winter. So I really liked that, and I like the fact that it will bring warmth into my home as well. So they are, like I said, the focal flower. The poppies are more of, I wouldn't say that they're necessarily, they're not really like the filler flowers or that, but I really liked them, and we're going to use them to just create a little bit of variation, a little bit of like, what's the word, like an untamed kind of feeling to the flowers, because I feel like tulips are very structured. Roses can be quite structured, but also quite wild looking as well, depending on how you prep them. And then we've obviously got the linear flowers, which will just like break it up and add a little, like pare it back a little bit, which I really liked. Again, I think I sound a lot more confident and knowledgeable than I am. So remember, I am just someone who's done this once. But next to that, you also need the foliage. So this will create structure. I feel like I've got a hair flapping about. These will create structure in the arrangement as well, and will help you to, with how you manipulate flowers, particularly the poppies in this case, because they can be quite floppy rather than, as opposed to the roses that their stems are so strong that they can just stay straight. So what you do is you get foliage, and you kind of like, the weepier flowers can be like wrapped into and intertwined with the foliage to keep it where you want it to stay. And also then these also bulk out the arrangements as well. So yeah, anyway, so we got some magnolia flowers, magnolia leaves rather. And again, we worked with these during our workshop. We weren't convinced that this one bunch would be enough for us to create the amount of bunches that we want to create. So we also grabbed, I don't know what this is, okay, people are going to be more knowledgeable than I, but I saw the leaves, I liked the leaves, I liked the color of the green, and I thought that it would work really well with what we've bought. So we'll have a bit, again, more of like that earthy tone, that wild, untamed feature of the magnolia because of the brown mixed with the green. And then this one is obviously a lot more lush, a lot more fresh, and I thought that they would work well together. And I liked that the leaves also had similar shapes between the two. So again, just adding some different dimension and all of that kind of thing. Anyway, that is everything that I bought today.
I get the feeling it's a good night. It's so bright. The city's shining from the street lights.
Whoa. Oh my goodness, I thought you were about to fall in the sink. My heart. Okay. I finished my croissant now, and I decided I'm gonna tidy up the house a little bit, well, tidy up the kitchen, because I need to wash these new wine glasses and have them all dry and ready to go for tonight. But in doing so, I thought I would show you the first thing that I've purchased that has arrived this week that I have not shared with you. But before I do, I need to say, I admit that I am a big fat liar because in one of my most recent vlogs, I said that I would not be buying anything else for the home until spring. That lasted maybe a couple of days because obviously you've seen that I have bought the new vase today. I bought wine glasses today, but I haven't bought any furniture, so maybe that's what I meant instead. I don't know. But as I said, I am about to clean those wine glasses, and that made me think of showing you one of the many purchases that I've made this week. It's this. Honestly, I've showed you my favorite milk today, and now I'm showing you my new dish rack. Like, I'm sorry if you clicked on this video thinking it was going to be riveting footage. It's not. This is where we're at. This is life in your 30s, okay? A dish rack. And to be honest, this is the best goddamn dish rack that I have ever purchased. The last one that I had, well, I've been through a few, okay? Because I've tried like the really minimalist approach. I've tried the really robust and you can fit literally anything in the tiered dish racks, and they don't work, okay? Then the last one I bought because it was small and compact, and I felt like it looked really nice, at least in the beginning, and at least for a dish rack. It fit under my sink when I didn't want it out and about as well. On the rare occasion it was empty and didn't have dishes drying in it. But it was from IKEA, and it had a metal tray, and that metal tray was disgusting. It was getting rusty. It would get like sludgy water in it because of not because there was crap falling into it, but I think because of like the dish soap and the water kind of mixing together with the metal, it was repulsive. So we finally got rid of that. And then I saw this one on Amazon, which again, we'll link down below, which I think I'm actually quite hopeless with linking things down below, so apologies in advance. I do try my best, but I'm sure you can appreciate that once I've like finished editing my video, the last thing I want to do is watch it all again and have to like jot down every single link that I said that I would include. So I think there's a few missing, at least off the one that I pushed live last week. But anyway, you'll just have to deal with me. If I say it's on Amazon, just go look on Amazon, okay? But anyway, this is from Amazon. It's this dish rack. And what I like about this one, I think it comes in different sizes, but don't quote me on that because it can get pretty confusing with Amazon. There's a million different sellers, a million different products that are like, if not identical, very, very similar. So I may be confused with other stuff. But this is a rust-proof, very important, rust-proof dish rack. It has a little cutlery thing, which my IKEA one didn't have before. But what I like most about this one is it has a little drain. So the water will run off your dishes, go into the tray, but then go down the drain in the tray and be poured out of this little spout here. And this spout, what I like about it most is you can move the spout, don't rip it completely off, but you can move the spout around depending on the location of the dish rack around your sink, because you want it to obviously drain into the sink, the runoff water, not onto the bench. But yeah, you can adjust it and move it around depending on the location. So for me, which way do I like it? This way. So for me, I like it facing that way because it sits to the right of the sink. The spout comes out to the left and then goes into the sink and we're done. And it's also so easy to clean. So you can see mine's a little bit mucky because it's not straight out the box. I do actually use it. And then you can also flip this around depending on where you want the plates in that, like the plate portion of this. And then obviously this can be moved around too. It's incredible. And again, it was really affordable and it looks nice. I haven't checked to see whether it can fit where the old one did. Can confirm it does. But yeah, it's just really great. So anyway, that is how interesting my life is. Are those sprinkles that I said I got for Bella's birthday cake. So it's from Edible Cake, what is it? Edible Cake Toppers Australia. But this is their Stitch sprinkle mix, which is so cute. And then in here, hold on, let me put you up properly. That is on an angle. Okay, that's not gonna work. We're just gonna put you here and I'm gonna crouch. You're seeing all the angles of my kitchen today. But hold on, there's a little ledge here. I might squeeze my ass in it. This is what I got to stick on the cake as well. So it's got, I think her name's Angel and Stitch. They're going on the cake. I got 2 of them because I haven't quite decided what size cake I'm making. It will all depend on obviously how many kids RSVP and are coming, but I thought it was really cute. So, and it comes really well packaged. So it comes in a cardboard sleeve so that it doesn't get bent and damaged. But yeah, that will be going on Bella's cake next weekend, which it'll be lovely. Anyway, okay, back to this. Good afternoon, everyone. It is nearly 2 o'clock on Sunday the 3rd of August now, and I've just had a bit of a refresh and gotten changed out of my gym kit because we actually made it to the gym today. We did legs as well, which was a little bit challenging, I have to admit, but they always are. Other than that, I've really not done much today, in all honesty. I woke up at like 7:15, which after going to bed at like 1 o'clock, I felt like that was pretty good. Anyway, not to give too much information, but I went to the bathroom and then I thought I'd come back to bed and kind of just chill out for a bit. Ended up falling asleep until 9:15 and then that's when I got up, made myself a couple of coffees and also had breakfast. I did not record anything from last night. I did plan on it, particularly when we were actually doing our flowers, but the conversation that kind of started at dinner continued when we started to do the flowers, which that conversation should never be recorded. So that's why I didn't pick up the camera, too busy chatting, all of that kind of thing. We finished 1.5 bottles of wine as well, which was way more than I expected to have. I'm not hungover though. Thankfully, yesterday afternoon, because I was on the treadmill, I drank quite a lot of water. So I think I was sufficiently hydrated and therefore was not hungover today, because that would have just ruined the day for me. I mean, I don't know anyone who likes being hungover, but I'm a particularly big baby when it comes to being hungover. So I'm just glad that none of that hit me. But whilst we're waiting for Ben to come back from Sydney, he hasn't made it back yet. I suspect there was a bit of celebrating that happened last night, although unfortunately for Ben, the Lions did not win. So less celebrating for him, but more celebrating for his friends that were going for the Wallabies. But while we're waiting for him to get back, I thought I would show you the bunches of flowers that we did create. I ended up getting 3 bunches of flowers, which just demonstrates how overboard we kind of went with purchasing. I'm gonna have to say that last night, putting the bunches together was a lot more challenging than I expected it to be, and we quickly learned that what we'd focused on and what we were worried about having enough of was wrong. And so we spent a lot of time picking like the focal flowers and all of that kind of thing, and the foliage in particular. Also linear flowers. I don't know why we ended up buying 2 bunches of those, but we did, which neither of us actually really enjoyed, because the linear flowers that we bought didn't really suit the focal flowers that we bought. So anyway, lesson learned. And then to top it off, we hadn't bought enough filler flowers, which meant that as I was putting, and I'll show you with the first bouquet, I was putting a lot more foliage than I actually wanted to. I wanted a lot more flowers than foliage. And so it did make me a little bit grumpy last night, I have to admit. Just frustrated, because I was like, oh, this is not going like as planned. But having slept on it and kind of moved the bunches around the house today, I actually, and because the flowers that we bought yesterday, that part of the frustration when we were putting the bouquets together as well, is a lot of the flowers were closed, and so it was just a lot of green and not much color, and that made it more difficult as well, because obviously it impacts the way that the arrangements look. So today though, having moved them around the house, and I will, as always, just keep rearranging as I'm like changing the water and having to trim the flowers and all of that kind of thing. But the flowers are starting to like color and open, and it looks so much nicer today. So I'm feeling a little bit better about our efforts. They're still not there, but it is getting better. So let's go have a look. Actually, before we go and have a look, I thought I would just show you my new top. Let me put my tea down. So I recently did an order from Next because Bella's birthday is coming up, and I was just browsing on there and I found some really cute swimsuits for her for summer. And anyway, I picked one for her birthday present, and then I was kind of just perusing for myself as well, and I bought these Henleys here that I've got on. So this is just the Next brand, but they come in a 4-pack. And honestly, I love them. They're so comfortable. They're so comfortable and they're really well made. So obviously with this being white, there's always the risk that if you get something that's too low quality, it ends up being transparent. But as you can see, 'tis not. So, sorry, falling. But yeah, I've got this in a gray, a black, and a mushroom color as well. And they're just really good staples to have in your wardrobe where you want to wear sort of just an easy, quick and easy top to put on, but you don't want anything too plain. So yeah, I just really like them. So I thought I would share that with you as well. So onto the flowers. This is the first bunch and it is in my new vase as well. But as you can see, we've got the roses in here. We've got a few of the filler flowers and then some magnolia leaves and the other foliage that I have no idea what it was. And then we've also got some of the colored tulips as well, which as they're kind of opening up, as you can see here, they match the roses really nicely. So I'm really happy about that. But last night it was really difficult because they were all really green and it wasn't as colorful. But I can already see now that I'm like looking at this in the screen, like I'll be rearranging these and pulling some of the tulips that seem to have congregated on this side, move them more so that they're kind of evenly distributed around the bouquet there. There's really no point in me showing you this bunch of flowers just because it is all the one flower. So these are the linear flowers that we had bought and quickly realized that they didn't match sort of the vibe of the other flowers we'd bought, because the other flowers we'd bought were quite wild, I guess, and untamed, whereas these ones are really structured and they're quite polished, I guess is the term. And also their base color is quite different to the rest, which are really warm toned. And so they ended up in a vase by themselves because they were really hard to incorporate in the other bunches. It's quite dark in here, so I hope you can see this one. I might rotate and see if I can catch the light a bit better. So this one here is the third bunch. It ended up in my really short vase that I'd gotten from the workshop just because the poppies were quite short in their stems. So these are, as you can see, I'll just move that leaf out of the way. These are the poppies that we had purchased from the farmer's market, and they're an assortment of colors. So when you buy them, you buy this array of colors and you're not really sure what you're going to get until they start to open. And so last night, I mean, bearing in mind that we'd had some wine by this point, but we were laughing at them because they look like hairy balls. But thankfully today, they have started to kind of open up and show more of their color. So as an example, this one was closed off and this one you can see is starting to open up as well. So as the days progress, these will obviously become more and more colorful, but they are the most beautiful flowers too. They're so delicate, but I like that they look like wildflowers. And in here, you will probably see there are a couple of tulips as well, which I had bigger plans for this arrangement and I had planned on putting more of the tulips, but again, it was just really challenging to kind of see the vision as I was doing it, and that's why only 2 tulips have ended up in there. And the reason why they are in there is because one was already showing quite a bit of color, you can see here, and then this one I could see in the tip that it was starting to show its color as well. So I kind of plopped it in there just hoping that it will work out, and I can say that it is, again, really similar tones to some of the poppies there, which I love. So I think that next time I do this, I'll just have to have more faith in the choices that I'd made and know that they are what I'm after, I guess. All right, you're sitting a little bit low, but I think we can make do. I'm having to crouch a little bit to be in the screen. But to be honest, I think I'm gonna wrap the vlog up here. There's not much happening for the rest of the weekend. Obviously, like I said, Ben's on his way home. We've still gotta do grocery shopping. He'll hit the gym. I'll hit the treadmill when he's at the gym. And that's really all that we've kind of got planned. So I think I'm gonna wrap the vlog up here, but thank you so much if you've made it this far in the video, and I'll catch you next time. I just switched off the camera and I just realized I forgot to show you the cake from last night, which is unfortunate because it's now obviously been eaten. It's now, half of it's with Julianne and it's now sitting in the fridge wrapped up in Glad wrap. But I don't know if you can see it that well. Hold on. Okay, unwrapping it. So I did the cream cheese frosting on it. It's cream cheese mixed with that thickened cream that I got from Harris Farm, which, by the way, it's so thick, this cream, that it's like clotted cream in the UK that you have with scones. So I'm gonna have to tell Ben because we don't actually have clotted cream, like we don't sell clotted cream here, but this is exactly like it. So I think you'll be very happy to find that out. But this is the cake. It's sunk in the middle, obviously, which is fine. This isn't meant to be a pretty cake at all. It's meant to be really, like I said yesterday, like quite brownie-like, quite heavy, I was gonna say the word stodgy, that sounds awful, but it is quite a stodgy cake. It is really dense, and so it's just not meant to be beautiful. It's just meant to, you know, satisfy your sweet tooth. But it was really nice. I think that next time I make it though, I will put less bicarb in it because there was like 2.5 teaspoons, which if you're a baker, you would know that that's so strange to have so much bicarb. And to be honest, it kind of like Julianne reckons she couldn't taste it. I feel like I could, but I don't know if that's because I was so stressed about the quantity of it already. And so like in my mind, I think I was just like hyper aware of it. But next time, I don't think it needs that much. So next time I might just do like 2 teaspoons or 1.5, I don't know. But it was a really lovely cake and we had it with fresh strawberries on the side as well. And so I'll link that recipe actually down below. But as I tried to do before, thank you so much for watching this vlog. Sorry I'd forgotten about showing you this before it was cut up and served and all of that kind of thing. But again, thank you so much if you stuck this far in this vlog, and I'll see you next time.